Have you ever been asked an awkward question in public and you were unsure how to respond with grace and poise? This video is for you. Let's talk about some of the questions classy people never ever ask and how you can respond if someone ever does ask you some of those questions. So make sure you watch till the end because there is an alternative way to satisfy your curiosity about somebody or about anything without asking them a direct question. Let's start with the most sensitive topic out there, which is money. Yes, we've all been in situations where someone asks us, how much do you make? What's your salary? How much does that cost? What is your rent or what is your mortgage? How much does your handbag cost? How much is your dress? You know, these questions that can feel a bit invasive. Classy people avoid these questions because they understand that money is personal and that bringing it up can create unnecessary tension. I must admit, before I began my current journey of self-improvement, I was a culprit. In the past, I used to ask other people questions about money. Anyway, not to random people. I've asked a few close friends similar questions on money, especially people in the same profession as me, maybe who have changed their job role or whom are in current role that I am aspiring to achieve. But honestly, most times I have noticed that those questions made some of them uncomfortable. And they've only responded to me out of sheer regard for me, not to be perceived as being rude, So I stopped asking unless you choose to share with me this very sensitive topic. So if you're watching me today and you still go about asking people how much is your salary, how much does your pair of shoes cost, what is your rent, I think you should have a rethink and maybe reconstruct your question. Money matter is a very sensitive topic. This could be a trigger for some and it could also put pressure on some others. I understand some people might have varied opinion and would argue that salary does not matter. It shouldn't be very personal or private. It could help some people, especially the younger generation, to make informed decision about their career. We know how money is important in career and life generally anyway, but I personally don't think so. I think people choose career for various reasons, not just the money. For instance, myself, I have seen someone who earns like twice my income, but if you offer me her job, I'd decline the offer right away. If you so desire about anybody's income, I think the best thing to do is to visit some job hunting websites where you could find similar job roles with the proposed income. Or if you're curious about someone's outfit, you may start off by complimenting their outfit and then follow it up with, where are those beautiful pair of shoes from? Or say something like, would you mind sharing with me the contact of the person who designed your wardrobe? Most people would happily give these details using this method than coming direct to them, which could be perceived as judgmental. Okay, but what if you're on the receiving end? What do you do when you get asked those sensitive questions on money? So here is a classy way to handle it. If someone ever does ask about your salary, I'll suggest to say something like, oh, I'd rather not discuss my finances, but I'm happy to talk about politics or I'm happy to talk about fashion, and then smoothly redirect the conversation to something else you're passionate about, maybe like your recent project or just talk about your hobby, but set the boundaries straight up. Or you could politely just decline by saying, I like to keep that private, but thanks for asking anyway. A simple, direct response that sets a boundary without offending or use of some humor. You could say, oh, are you the tax man? Or are you looking to rework my income tax? And just put a smile on your face. Then you could turn the question around and say, oh, why do you ask? Sometimes when you gently ask the reason behind a question, this can either clarify people's curiosity or prompts them to actually realize that it's a bit intrusive, or simply ask them, are you looking for recommendations? This would reframe the conversation to a more comfortable topic. Some people don't have income at all. We need to be mindful of that. Some people are stay-at-home mom, they are homemakers. Some people are simply doing unpaid voluntary job. Some others are not very proud of their current income And some others have lost their job and finding it difficult finding a new employment. So, and others are struggling to raise capital for a business. So it feels awkward to throw this kind of questions about money at them. What is your salary? You put them on the spotlight and make them feel a bit unease. In our current age, people are very judgmental. When you tell someone the cost of your rent or the cost of your outfit, they will instantly grade you as rich, broke, or wealthy. By using these strategies, you can gracefully navigate any questions about money while maintaining your privacy. The key is to respond in a way that feels very natural to you by setting the boundaries with politeness and ease. Another very sensitive question to avoid asking people is their relationship status. Come on. Why are you single? When are you having kids? Why did you break up? Why do you want to know, if I may ask you? Why are you so interested in such questions? If they give you the response, of what benefit is this reply to you? These questions can come off as super judgmental or very, very intrusive, even if they are asked with good intentions. Anyway, what good intention could possibly come from such questions? So people are passing through relationship difficulties. Some could be hurting from previous relationships or from previous traumas. They don't wish to be reminded that they are single, they are separated, or they are divorced, especially in this era that relationships are relatively difficult to keep. So asking people these invasive questions could sound so unreal. I know a lady who recently cut off her primary family for asking her why she's still single at 30. And I think when you ask people why they are still single, or when they are getting married, it could make them feel as if their current life situation is lacking or is not good enough. Back then, I remember when I actually removed one of my cousins from my social media page simply because he was constantly making posts belittling single women, asking them why they are still single. You know, that's a very insensitive thing to post in a public space. At the time, I was single, and such utterances actually pressurized me. Oh goodness. Even though the post was not directed at me, I felt attacked. Yes. If you haven't been through a heartbreak, or if you haven't been through a bad relationship, you may not actually understand the pain and the choices people make to remain single. So here is a classy way to respond to this kind of questions. I recommend going with gentle but firm answer. This way you set the boundaries. For example, if someone asks, why are you still single? You may simply say, oh, I'm really enjoying my life as it is now. And then steer the conversations again towards something exciting you're working on or something you're looking towards to. Or it could be more add some humor and say, oh, do you match make, or is yours missing? We need to remember that we also have the category of people who then offer unsolicited advice, explaining why relationship is so important, why you should stay in one, why you should marry, and so on. I don't want to tell you what to do, but I don't think it's a very, very nice thing to go about putting unnecessary pressure on people unsolicited. Some people choose not to be in any form of relationship, and their choices should be respected. And remember, it is perfectly okay to protect your personal life from prying questions. Setting boundaries is a sign of self-respect and class, and it's something classy people always do all the time. Relationship is personal. If anyone ever chooses to share with you, it is simply a privilege. Then about having kids, my goodness. Oh dear. This question should never be asked, especially to the women gender. There's a lot of fertility issues. There are people who are simply not ready for parenthood. Parenthood is another level of stress and commitment. Allow people make that decision unpressured. I do not have kids yet, but I can actually get stressed out with chores and housekeeping tasks. So as a classy person, when you're having kids, it's not a question to leave your lip to anyone, be it to your siblings or to your close friend. Worst of it is, when are you having another baby? Or why do you have no kids? Excuse me, are you aware that there is a high cost of IVF? There's high cost of childcare, the mental and financial stresses involved. Then some people are barren with unresolvable fertility issues. So each time you ask them such question, you remind them their pain, their inability. So stop asking people these questions. When you are asked this kind of questions about childbirth, you need to set boundaries. Anyway, depending on your relationship with the person asking. Say, for instance, if it is your close friend, he could reply, I'm just waiting for you to prove your availability by actually resigning from your current job because you are going to be the full-time babysitter. Or you could simply just smile and just set the boundary and say, it's a personal project and I'm not ready to have this conversation now. If you found this video helpful so far, give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and hit that subscribe button for more tips on living your best life with style and elegance. Now, let's not forget about those awkward questions about personal appearance, like have you gained weight, or you changed, or are you feeling okay, or what are you wearing? What is that you're wearing? Is that what you're wearing might be meant well, but they often come across as hurtful or embarrassing. I think that commenting or inquiring about someone's physical appearance can be sensitive and even harmful. Yes, what I mean is that appearance is a deeply personal aspect of anybody's identity. So when we ask questions about it, we may inadvertently cross into people's personal space. Everyone has different comfort levels when it comes to discussing how they look, and respecting those boundaries is important. We all know that people may struggle with body image concerns, so questions about appearance, even with good intentions, can trigger some anxiety, insecurity, or even negative self-perception. For example, asking someone if they've lost weight could imply that they were overweight before, which might not align with how they see themselves or what they want to be seen. Personally, I don't like being reminded of my body weight, and I have seen people get really offended by such questions. So people could lose body weight due to illness. They are struggling to live. Yes, this you could do is ask them the obvious. Some persons could also gain body weight because of some mental illness or eating disorders. Don't you think that by avoiding questions about appearance, we'll shift the focus to a more meaningful aspect of a person, such as their thoughts, their feelings, their skills, or even their achievements? This will promote a culture where people are valued for who they are, not how they look. Also, when we avoid appearance-related questions, we will naturally create a more inclusive environment where people of all shapes, sizes, and backgrounds can feel comfortable and accepted without fear of judgment. If you ever find yourself on the receiving end of such a question, a gracious response could be, I feel great, thank you for asking. And then change the topic to something more positive, like a recent accomplishment or a fun event you've just attended. Or you could be more sarcastic and respond, I'm losing weight in preparation for the upcoming Olympics. Or I gained weight because I bought a very beautiful dress in a very high in maybe waist size, if you're size 14, you could say in size 20 or size 30 during the sale. So I need to size up to be able to fit because I love this dress very much. And it's all about maintaining your composure and not letting the question throw you off balance. Classy people know that the best way to handle these situations is with kindness and with confidence. Okay, the fourth question never to ask anybody is about life choices. Life choices are another area where people can ask questions that feel a bit too personal. Things like, why didn't you go to college? Why didn't you complete your studies? Why were you denied a visa, or why did they refuse the admission? Why did you choose this lifestyle? Why did you choose this kind of family planning? Or why don't you have kids? Again, it's about life choices. So why did you choose that career? These questions can make people feel judged or pressured. And I think that everyone's life is shaped by unique circumstances that other people may not fully understand. What might seem like a straightforward question could touch on deeply sensitive or complicated aspect of anybody's life. For instance, some life choices may be the result may be a result of difficult or traumatic past experiences. So inquiring about why someone moved to a new city, or why they left a job, or why they changed their lifestyle could inadvertently force them to revisit those painful memories or those painful emotions they'd rather want to keep private. So I don't know about you, but I think asking someone about their life choices can most times come across as judgmental, even if that's not the intention. For instance, questioning why someone doesn't have children or why they choose a particular career can imply that there's something unusual or wrong about their decision. Life choices can vary greatly depending on a person's age, their gender, or even their life stage. Take, for instance, asking a younger person about their career aspiration or an older person about their retirement plans can sometimes feel intrusive, especially if they are navigating this uncertainty or pressure-related stages of their life. You see, I can say that life choices reflect an individual's autonomy and freedom to shape their own life. So when you come and ask them these questions, question their choices, you unknowingly undermine their decision-making skills or suggest to them that they need to justify to you why they've taken this decision. They need to justify their decisions to others. A classy response to this kind of question about career life choices could be, I've made choices that are right for me and I'm happy with where I am. This kind of response is respectful but also firmly closes the door on further prying questions. Another way is to focus on how you can support someone in their journey rather than questioning their choices. Offering them empathy, encouragement, or by simply listening can actually create a more positive and supportive dialogue. By handling these questions with grace, you're showing that you are confident in your decisions and that you don't feel the need to justify them to others. Alternatively, but what if you are a curious classic person wondering how to inquire about some of these questions about maybe your friend, your acquaintance, your boss, or even your colleague? I have a better approach. So instead of directly throwing some of these questions we've discussed so far, maybe about their life choices or their relationship or stuff like that, I think it's often more respectful to engage in an open-ended question where people can share what they are comfortable with. For example, instead of asking, why don't you have kids yet? You could simply ask, how have you been lately? This approach allows people to disclose what they wish without feeling pressured. The floor is open for them to rattle on. So we have come to the end of this video today. Now you know the questions classy people never ask and how you can handle them with grace and confidence if they ever come your way. Also, alternative ways to inquire about other people without appearing intrusive. Thank you for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye.